Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to dive deep into a really powerful and honestly often misunderstood type of Korean Buddhist meditation. It's called Ganhwaseon. And what's so interesting is that it really challenges our whole idea of what meditation is supposed to be for. It asks us to think about why the hard path might, just might, be the most direct one after all.
This observation from a Korean Zen master just hits so hard, doesn't it? It really sets the stage. We live in this amazing age of progress, right? We have instant everything. But for so many of us, there's this growing feeling of being, overwhelmed or disconnected. It's exactly why a lot of us are looking back to these ancient practices, searching for a totally different kind of progress.
And that really is the heart of it, isn't it? This feeling of spiritual emptiness, even when everything on the outside seems to be moving forward. It kicks off this deep, personal search for meaning. We're all looking for tools, not just to get by, but to connect with something more real inside ourselves. And for a lot of people, that search eventually leads them to meditation.
But here's the thing. Once you start looking into meditation, you find out pretty fast that it's not just one thing. The Zen master we're looking at today makes this really crucial distinction between two very, very different ways of getting to that inner stillness. And these two paths, they have totally different goals.
Okay, so the best way to understand the difference is through this great metaphor. Think of the popular meditation a lot of us know. It's like gently flowing downstream in a river. It's all about relaxation, being mindful, finding peace in the moment. But Korean Seon? That's about turning around and swimming upstream. It's way more challenging, it's direct, and the goal is so much bigger. It's not just about enjoying the ride, it's about finding the very source of the river itself.
So let's zoom in on this upstream practice. It's called Ganhwaseon. And boy, does it have a reputation. Even inside Buddhist circles, it's known for being incredibly challenging, almost like it's a path that's only for the pros, the really advanced practitioners.
So, what exactly is it? Well, Ganhwaseon is not about just sitting there and emptying your mind. Nope, it's a really active, dynamic investigation. The whole practice centers on this single, baffling question. It's called a hwadu. And you use that question like a tool, a laser, to cut through all your normal ways of thinking and get to a direct, real experience of things as they are.
And this quote just lays it all out, right? The master totally gets it. This is not a passive practice. It takes real effort. And that intensity is exactly why so many people think Ganhwaseon is this expert-level thing you only get to after years and years of practice. But what if that's a total misunderstanding?
This is where the story takes a really fascinating turn. The Seon master we're learning from shares this personal story from his own teaching that completely flips the whole idea of Ganhwaseon on its head. It turns out the way he used it for beginners is the exact opposite of what you think.
He's just so honest about it. He says, look, when I first started teaching regular people, it was a disaster. My methods just didn't land, students got confused, a lot of them just up and left. And the reason why is the whole key to this. He actually started with a method that was even more direct, even more advanced.
So he began with this practice called Josa-seon. It's super direct, kind of rough, and it just hits you with the core problem right away. But for beginners, it was just too jarring. They weren't ready. And when he realized this, he didn't switch to an easy downstream meditation. No, he switched to Ganhwaseon because he realized it was actually a more systematic, more explanatory, even a more compassionate way to guide people who are just starting out.
So, get this. This is the crucial point. Ganhwaseon, far from being this impossible practice for the elite, was actually the master's go-to solution for making this deep work accessible to everyone. He chose it because it gives you a structure, a medicine, that could systematically and kindly bring people into this profound journey of looking inward.
Okay, so this brings up the big question, right? If it still feels like you're swimming upstream and there are these gentler downstream methods out there, why on earth would you choose the path that seems so much harder? Well, the answer is kind of surprising, and it's incredibly profound.
And there it is, the most counterintuitive idea of them all. The master says that, in his view, Ganhwaseon is the easiest thing in the world. And why? Because it gives you a clear, solid starting point. That core question, the hwadu. It cuts through all the vagueness. You're not just told to be mindful. You're given a specific tool to hold on to. And in that way, he says it's actually the simplest, most direct path there is.
This right here is the whole ballgame. The difficulty, that feeling of struggling with a question your logical mind just can't crack, that isn't a problem with the practice, it is the practice. That intense, focused questioning is the very engine designed to push you past your normal thinking and spark a real breakthrough. The difficulty isn't a bug, it's the feature.
And here's the payoff. The whole point isn't just to feel calm for 20 minutes on a cushion. The real goal is a permanent upgrade to your entire operating system. By opening your eyes through this kind of practice, you develop this fundamental wisdom that lets you handle all the curveballs life throws at you. You learn to accept change. And because of that, life itself actually starts to feel easier.
So, let's just pull this all together. What have we learned? We've seen that Ganhwaseon's tough reputation is really just a misunderstanding of what it's for. That difficulty is actually its greatest strength. It's not some exclusive club for experts. It was actually chosen as a kind, systematic path to guide beginners. It uses a central question to spark insight, and the end game isn't just a little peace and quiet. It's a massive shift in perspective that makes all of life just feel easier to navigate.
And that kind of leaves us with one final thing to think about. This whole powerful practice is built on the foundation of a single, penetrating question. It's designed to wake you up. So it makes you wonder, right? If you had to pick one core question to investigate, what's the one question that could really change your perspective?